Right, welcome into the abode. How's everybody doing today? Yes, welcome into the abode. Welcome into that space. I appreciate all you guys who watch and really get into it. Watch in your growth, your knowledge of self is growing. You're open. You know that everything that I thought is really not what it is, and things are not what I thought they were, and that reality is hitting you, but you know it's the truth. It's not a struggle like the beginning, just like something's not right. You go, it's obvious to me why I know this now. Everything is not what I thought it was. And this reality, this pendulum swing of reality that I keep mentioning. How did you like the last two, dealing with self and the deeper ways to get healing for that inner child shadow self work that you could do in the last two videos? I told you I'd follow up with that, the request, and many watches on those, and definitely will be there. So yeah, what am I doing? It's the 13th of July. This will not come out to probably, I'm not going to put anything out on the 14th. So 15th, 16th, and 17th, when you'll see the two for, we're going to talk about the inner child, will be the Monday, Tuesday, and this will be the Wednesday. And we're going to go to a show we haven't did for a few weeks here. We're going to go into the lyrical esoteric meaning of the songs and decode those things, those songs, and look at what we see within the decoding of these songs, right? Once I played the Tom McDonald song, I played his song here. I would like to do that a little bit more, but the reality is sometimes when you do that, you can get copyright strikes. So I'm just going to do the lyrics on this song. You've heard me mention many times, or probably 2-3 times, if not maybe a couple more, but not always, mention the fact. I'll mention the Red Hot Chili Peppers in this, and I mentioned like it ain't about giving it away now. When I was talking about your energy being sucked out or siphoned, and I mentioned that's a Red Hot Chili Pepper song, right? Give it away now, off the album Love, Sex, and Magic. And I've talked about, we never really got into it, but I've talked about how a bunch of this knowledge was connected to the sexual frequency vibration of both sexes in a sexual manner, which causes a high vibration of creation. How some people use it in different ways. We will get to that, and how all occultic, esoteric meanings of all cultures have this into. I've been actually watching this woman, this lady, I believe she's Chinese, Wendy Wenbell. I may be wrong with what I said. I know it's a Wenbell's her last name, and I think she's Chinese, but she goes into all like the Tao and the Tao, and even Buddhism, how there's occult esoteric meanings and practices within the practice. Like I told you, all these, it's esoteric and exoteric. The public gets the crumbs off the table, talking about we see in the New Testament, and you're not in the club, like George Carlton says, which would be the esoteric true meaning of it. And so when you always hear, like I was looking at this thing, and it was said, satanic and occult. All occult's not satanic. It has nothing to do with being satanic. Now, if somebody uses it for, then it's like a gun. You can use a gun to save somebody and protect yourself, or you can be a murderer. It's how you use it. Responsibility. Quit putting everything off as one thing, like symbols and signs. Like I said, like I mentioned many times, symbols and signs are not the origination of certain symbols and signs that we've been programmed to judge a certain way. That wasn't what that symbol meant from its outset by the creator, or that cultures that created it. It's not what it means. It's just they're the last to use it in a hijacked way, and that's what you fall for because you're exoteric believers and not really have the esoteric to read signs and symbols. I signs and symbols all the time. That's why I share it here every now and then, signs and symbols. Maybe I should get into that a little bit more. I showed you the Taurus field, that signature in a recent video, right? But we're going to get into the song. The Red Hot Chili Peppers, we're getting into a song called Californiacation. I would probably have to pull this a little bit. How do you like my Cracker Barrel? That Cracker Barrel ought to give me tell him, hey, this guy wears a crack over, has videos, and you ought to sponsor him. For sure, for sure. All right. So we're going to get into it, but yes, we are. We are going to get into this, into a very, all right. Californication by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. A rock band. Actually, the release of this song is actually 1999, so it was before the last part of the millennial started. And the reason I want to get in this, because there's these meanings again hidden that need to be decoded out of the esoteric literal into the exoteric. What's it mean? What's it mean? What is the real meaning of it? So let's get into it. Many of you know the song, maybe even heard of it. So here's the lyrics. Psychic spies from China try to steal our mind's elation. And little girls from Sweden dream of silver screen quotation. And if you want these kind of dreams, it's Californication. It's heavy because when you hear it, the very first line talks about spies from China try to steal our mind's elation. And little girls from Sweden dream of silver street quotations. And it goes in this silver screen, which we're talking about the wood again, right? And we're talking about with the mind's elation would be censorship and communism. Yeah, which that's not all China. And this is a thing that we need to know. You need to find, China's a very vast place and big choices. Not every place is considered under that rule. And again, when we talk about governments, let's always remember we're talking about the government, not necessarily the people. I have no beef with the people. The people are under the gun, just like we don't know all that happens here. We don't support everything said or done, or maybe none of it when it comes to it, right? So these are the kind of dreams of Californication. And when I look at California, we know it's a state, but also I've seen it's got a word of Californication usually comes with a word fornication, right? The act of having sex out of wedlock, and there's a deeper meaning than that, I believe, but it would go into really what does that mean. But it's telling you about the state and the stuff that goes here around here when you start getting and breaking down these symbols. This is a very, very deep song when I went through it. It's the edge of the world and all of the Western civilization. The sun may rise in the east, but it's settled in a final location. It's understood that Hollywood sells Californication. Oh yeah. And you wonder why D-Boy Danny always talks about when I have mentioned when I say when, and I was talking to my wife, because just recently I watched a couple of movies I had mentioned, because I don't watch movies for entertainment. I watch them usually to decode them, the hidden messages like this and the music. You know, I've mentioned music, politics, athletics, and the wood all are under these contracts, because that's the connection of that value that they want to give to you through the system of your idol. Remember, we talked about in the old days, you remember talking about the Russian idol, and I'm going to get into what I just said. Think about that in the future, the Russian doll. And we have an idol, right? So perfect. I like that, because this is to me what it was referencing, what Californication is. It's coming to bring you a little bit of what it sells, which is Californication. Watch this. Pay your surgeon very well to break the spell of aging. Celebrity skin, is this your chin, or is it that war on that you're waging? Firstborn unicorn, hardcore soft porn, dream of Californication, and of course, dream of Californication, and one more time, dream of Californication. So right now it's telling you that is what it's going into, what it represents, masquerading, doing something that's not natural to hide something, and waging war on yourself. You're war against your own aging. You're at war with yourself. You're in war with your mentality. When you find the mentality of Californication and you find value in it, right? Where many people have. But it's telling you there's not a vacation, Californication or fornication. Californication is really what it's telling you. This is what you're fornicating with, was the mindset of the wood. And I've always said this, when I see this occultically, I see the City of Angels, which is the City of Angels, Los Angeles, and right next door, its neighbor is the wood, Hollywood, where you take the holly tree and you whittle a stick out of it. It becomes a magic wand called the holly tree or Hollywood. Come on now. Tell you, we're going to break things down to where you can understand it, where the magic's done. And what happened at Disney, right? What happened at Disney, right? Mickey has a magic wand, and then he has his wizard hat. It's all interacts, it's all one. And this is really what this song is telling. This song is very deep when it's telling you. So we stopped here, right? We ended with 4 dreams of Californication. When you wage war on with your chin with celebrity skin, right? Your firstborn unicorn, hardcore soft porn. Yeah, that makes sense. And then he goes to marry me, girl, be my ferry to the world, be my own constellation, which is telling you be my star. Constellations are stars. So become a Hollywood star. Be my ferry of the world. Marry me, girl, be my ferry of the world, be my own very constellation or my own star, Hollywood star and idol. This is the mindset that he's telling you that's Californication. It's fornicating with your thinking because you're looking for entertainment. In entertainment, but I'm here to tell you today, it's really not entertainment. It's entertainment because it's tainting your mind. Voila. Breaking it down. Come on now. And you're thinking the reality. And I'm going to come for this place that I've seen, especially the last 5 or 6 months. When you're not operating in your full creative self because you've been lowered in your thinking, you feel you need entertainment. But what are you being entertained for is opening up a door for taintment mentally, tainting the mental. Because this is magic done in the wood. And then even saying this is the Californication. This is what California does for you. It's the last place. It's the last of the West. It's the last frontier of the West. It's telling you this is where everything settles at. It's the last frontier of the West, right? And we've seen in these previous videos I did when we talked about a Jack, Dynamo Jack, he was saying, and then I even mentioned the fact that stuff we're not taught in the West of how vast we are, we're taught to be material, because this is all materialism and everything, because I see Hollywood as a religion, their religion. I mean, we have the stuff that's been really openly done, which was more hidden the last, when you look at every aspect of it, you see it in every time you have an awards. You see people suddenly just pass away. And it might be somebody who's connected to this movie that receives an award the next night at the Grammys or the whatever award ceremonies that they do. And then you start looking at, when they have these award ceremonies, and then you look at the Oscars and you do your backtrack of what image you're seeing that's an old goddess image of antiquity that they're using. And many didn't know that's just Oscars, that's the wood. I'm happy with the wood. Know and discern what this all is connected to in this reality, right? Watch this. Constellation, a teenage bride with a baby inside getting high on information, and buy me a star on the boulevard. It's Californication. A teenage bride with a baby inside getting high on information, and buy me a star on the boulevard. It's Californication. Wow. A teenage bride, after you made her a star with a baby inside, pregnant. Give me, is the baby literal, or is the baby of the Californication, which is fornication of the system that now it's birthing to you as it becomes a star and wants to lead you as the idol that it's now being propped up to do through the system. And they go, D, you're getting deep. Yeah, I am, because it's time to rock and see exactly what this is. Space might be the final frontier. but it's made in a Hollywood basement. Yes, telling you. Ooh, yeah. Do I have to explain what that means? I've never really went there with y'all, but I know what it means. Do you decode it? How good is your esoteric knowledge? Made in a basement. With space as a frontier, but it's made in a basement. Indeed, indeed, indeed. Yeah. Buy me a star on the boulevard. It's California, and there you go. Then what do they do with these stars? They take them to the wood. We get stars, and they implant these stars on the sidewalk and everything. Oh, the Baptists are good. This is a ritual, man, for all these folks that they star up. This whole thing's a ritual. When you look at it esoterically and start breaking this stuff down and start knowing what's really happening, what they're doing. I broke down the third eye projector. The over your eyes there's film. You got antennas as your hair. You got all this thing. You got the projector, your third eye. You got your eyes. You got all this, and how you're the projector, and you're projecting, even being used for the projection of the reality given to you through this process. And who's the masters at it? And especially this place, definitely these industries, music and that, plus the other two I was telling you about when you signed the so-called tract, right? We did the Faustinian. If you guys don't remember, because I'm kind of surprised in the lack of watches in it. I'm just going to say that in the Faustinian bargain, this is connected to that. Go watch the Faustinian bargain, which was only like a week and a half ago, what that really represents. And I went into what I think it represents into Selling Your Soul, Crossroads, which is old. This goes back to the blues. Actually, the Faustinian bargain about selling your soul for the riches of this world actually goes back to plays in the 1560s. That far back this goes, okay? But definitely the reality, the matrix, definitely. I love this. But it's made in a Hollywood basement. And Cobain, I think he's talking about Kurt, can hear the spheres singing songs of station to station. And Aldrin's not far away. It's that's the guy that supposedly walked on the moon from the beginning. Wow. And when I hear station to station, and then he's talking about Cobain can hear the spheres singing the songs of station to station. Station to Station's a David Bowie song from maybe the 80s or after. I could be wrong on my timeline, but it's not a 70s song for sure. 80s, it could even have been after that. And it goes along with Kurt Cobain, the song is a Station to Station, and Buzz Aldrin is the one that's not far away because it's connected to the Hollywood basement. Wow. Totally see this. I went over it a few weeks ago, but even now more, I'm just seeing more in it. Born and raised by those who praise control of population. Wow. Now this goes, born and raised by those who praise control of population. And then we know, if you guys don't know, now you should know, especially being here, a lot of what's been happening has been connected to controlling the population. Come on now. Come on now. Open up your eyes. Third eye. Let that thing see. It's obvious when you open your eyes and you don't, your eyes are not wide shut. What's been done and what's being said here. It's actually very esoteric, the song. Very much kind of straightforward, not hidden. But if you don't know the language and the signs and the symbols of language he's saying, you're just going to be just a dogma lost froggy. You don't get it. And then you just go into one place or another because you only have two places to go in the dogma, right? Judgment and which you think is not judgment. So, God, that's heavy. Well, everybody's been there, and I don't mean on a vacation. Yes. Remember I said this isn't California going for a vacation. This is californication. And right away when I said that, then he follows this up with, this doesn't mean on a vacation, firstborn unicorn, hardcore soft porn. It's telling you that the selling of these young people and young girls, I see this now, right now, as I read it more, and it makes sense with all the telling you about the SA, the NASA, and all this, Operation Paperclip. Do you know about Operation Paperclip? Is telling you that this is running. It's not about a vacation. It's about soft porn. What's it, hardcore and soft porn? Let me read that again. Firstborn unicorn, hardcore soft porn. to me, I see this as almost prostitution, or people people, what is it called? People being used on the market for trade. What is it, the word? Slipping me, Danny. Slipping me, Danny. Come on now, D-boy. Come on. When people are being personally traded or being used for certain things, because it says hardcore soft porn, right? Hardcore soft porn, meaning it's showing you that this is part of the California thing, is using people for trading human beings, right? Selling human beings. Trafficking is a word I'm using. They call it the system calls it that. It's really what it is. That's what I see it is. Born and raised to praise the control of the population. Well, everybody's been there. I don't mean on vacation. Everybody's been in the system, taking part in it. Firstborn hardcore soft porn, dream of californication ×4, like it did earlier. Destruction leads to a very tough road, but it also breeds creation. And earthquakes are to a girl's guitar, they are just another good vibration. The tidal waves couldn't save the world from California. That's heavy. Because he's talking about the world needs to be saved from Californication, what's going on here. Definitely, I can eyewitness that. Definitely can say, can I get a witness for this? Yes, I see this completely. The vibration, talking about just not earthquakes are girls' guitars, right? They're just another good vibration, which is a song, another song. He mentioned the song there with a lyric. Looking for good vibrations is another song. And tidal waves couldn't save the world from this. Pay your surgeon very well to break the spell of aging, which like spells, aging's a spell, which it's not, it's natural. Sicker than the rest, there is no test, but this is what you're craving. Firstborn unicorn hardcore soft porn and dream of californication. When I see this, it's not a dream, it's a nightmare when I really read this, because when we decoded it, this is a very good song to decode. Actually, I looked at it a couple of weeks ago and I put it on my list, and then as I get on it, this is the second time in a row I did these lyrics, and I got on here recording, putting it out, and I'm really picking up more to almost exactamundo. It's opening up to me personally, where I'm like, wow, whoa, I'm seeing this really clearly, what this is really telling you, and it falls in line what I know. To me, this makes total sense of what I'm seeing and what I know. It's powerful. This is from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. So there's some reason in music and in movies that they're like telling us these stories that are truth. The news doesn't. The news is a joke. It's programming. It's really a joke. These news channels, all of them, jokes. Jokes. And I mean it, jokes. One more time, jokes. They're not giving you, you'll find more news through this of what really is going on, and through the movies or series that you'll find on Netflix that you can watch and see what's really going on, but you think it's entertainment, when they're really telling you it's not entertainment. Like I've said many times now, probably as much as 3 to 5 times, I've said that quit looking at The Matrix as a movie of entertainment and look at it more as a documentary. And I'm not the first to say that. I actually got it from somebody else, I don't remember who, but many people have uttered the same thing that I said, which makes total sense to me. So I say it, and I've said it a few times here. So you guys, like I said, you got a song to send, make sure that song definitely is that. Send it to me, tell me the song, just make sure the lyrics hit. All right. You guys, let me go and stop sharing. Let me make sure. Okay. Last time I stopped sharing, it flipped me out of here, and that's not what's supposed to happen. That's why I was just deleting what I had put up. But this was another great episode of decoding the songs for Esoteric Meetings, and we did the Californication today. Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate that you guys could join and be part of it. Cracker Barrel, send me definitely looking for you. Look at that. Cracker Barrel. Send me hook me up. Definitely advertise for you. Not that I'm trying to be some salesman, but eventually I wouldn't mind it. I mentioned on one of my last videos that I'm a week away from retirement. I'm actually taking some time off that I had able to take off, and actually finishing up some of the things I need to finish up with this as I go on my retirement, after 20 something years of working in a field, that it really spoke out to my needs. Did I agree with everything of all of it? No, but what I did well. I admit it, and that's not out of my ego. I just know I was very effective in interpersonal connections and connecting with people, and I actually had a really good knack for connecting, right, with actually schizophrenics. I had a really good knack of having schizophrenics in the profession I did. But this wasn't about this. I just kind of wanted to share that, as we had the Gabber Mate, and we talked about knowing your triggers, identifying your triggers, and with you let your triggers control. We did two, and we did this music, and we did the lyrics. I need to roll in a couple more words of the day and stuff like that, and some more, definitely some more stuff we will do here that will honor truth, and hopefully, and then we'll do some more of this inner healing work too. That's needed. That's really part of what we do here. We want unity and oneness, and quit dividing and conquer. Our outside skin colors or any differences we have more in common. Those when we all die, nobody has skin, and everybody looks the same. Your bones and souls are not looking like outwards. This is avatar. But anyways, the body, the human body, definitely has a connection. It definitely has geometry, right? Think of this: 2 arms, a head, 2 legs, 5-pointed star. That's connected to Venus, which Venus in turn, Venus is actually Lucifer in ancient knowledge, way before we get the Lucifer of the New Testament. And then a bunch of people saying they're Luciferians. Let's get to what the knowledge is really saying, right? Before people hijack and present it to you and you think that's what it is. No, don't be fooled. The Who had a song called "Don't Be Fooled Again," right? Yeah, just don't be fooled again. But anyways, we're here to create a unity and oneness, a togetherness, in breaking the divide and conquer mentality within ourselves and for other people. Let's not divide. Let's have some addition and especially some multiplication together. Awesome. You guys, appreciate all of you guys. You guys have a great day.